Use the diaphragm, man. Use that fucking diaphragm.
Hey everybody, welcome to Innerbrews. We're here at Grove Studios and we're going to have a Michigan brew and talk to a Michigan artist. Today my guest is TJ Greggs, a well-known rapper from Approachable Minorities. We're going to get into his story. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty good, BK. How you doing?
I'm fucking loving life right now. And I also see here we got a Beach Please from Pigeon Hill. Looks like it's a brewing company from Michigan, and we are going to taste this lovely brew right here. And I'm going to get a little snap in.
Muskegon. I didn't think Muskegon, like, brew beers. I figured it was just, like, the East Side hood version of, like, downgraded Flint or Detroit.
You think Muskegon's more ghetto and hood than fucking Flint?
No. I said it's the version of that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Version.
Yeah. I see you. It's like Hood Light.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you.
Exactly.
I got you. Like if it's not the green, but it's the light green.
Exactly.
I feel you.
The lime. It's a little bit brighter. See, they got Lake Michigan over there, so
that's true. They got a good view.
See,
you know, we got Ford Lake. It's a little
bodies in that fucking.
I see people fishing there all the time. I'm just like, why?
Disgusting.
You just throw it back?
Yeah, that's what I see that all the time. It's like when I see people go out on the water or go swim in that water, I'm like, that's water is disgusting. Yeah. I would never.
Three-eyed fish.
Fish with teeth.
Fish walking and shit. So let's get back in. Let's talk about your start here. Because, I mean, I've known you for a long time. Man, and ever since I've known you, you've been spitting. Yeah. So when did you get your start?
Well, I mean, I started off really just writing poetry. That was the biggest thing. It was like when I was younger, I didn't really draw, didn't have any artistic skills. My brothers were into sports and stuff. Like I played football and stuff when I was younger, and I was just like, I wrestled, and I was like, this is fun, but it's just like, it's not passionate. Right. What I really got out of it was just like poetry. So like around the age 16, it was just like, Drew started, it was actually probably started before that. It was like 14. I was in foster care. Okay. And the guy that I was staying with, he was producing in his basement on FL Studios. And I was like, this is dope. Like, this is really cool. And I brought Drew over to show him because he lived up the street from me. And he was just like, whoa, this is awesome. Cool. He had been rapping for a little bit. So he started learning how to produce. And then he started producing his own beats. And then he started rapping. And then finally I was just like, oh, well, I want to jump on a song with you. So it was like 14, 15, and then like we had made this song, What Up Skaters, What Up Rockers, and yeah, that song's cringy. Man, that song was cringy.
Did you record it?
Oh yeah.
We can find that?
It's probably somewhere. I would not doubt it. It's the internet, man. It's somewhere out there.
Man, I can remember old tracks that you guys used to do that just still tickle me to this day. Right. But did you always know Drew? Were you guys like grew up together?
Yeah, I've known Drew since I was 10. Met him in 4th grade. It was like right after I'd swapped from Ypsi to Ann Arbor because I'd been living in Ypsi, but my mom had been driving me out to Ann Arbor. And then finally she was just like, all right, I'm tired of doing this. You're going to start catching the bus and you're going to the Ypsi schools.
That's what's up.
I met Drew by drawing Super Saiyans in class. And I watched him do it, and I was like, man, that's really dope. Show me how to do that.
So, triangle chins, real pointy cheeks.
Spiky hair of all different colors. Right. We were like, all right, man, this is the green Super Saiyan. He's level 7.
Right. Like, making up stuff. Dude, I feel like that's a lot of our crew's like past is just like drawing crappy version of anime characters from like Toonami.
Facts, man, for real. Anime is a staple.
Who knew that was gonna blow up like it did? Like anime is a powerhouse right now,
dude. And that's the thing.
And we used to get made fun of hardcore.
You see, and I love it now to this day, man. Shit, like I'm
checking out your show right now. What are you talking about?
Cowboy Bebop, man. What do you mean?
So, knowing Drew all the time, when did Insane Industries come into the fold? Did you guys have a group beforehand?
No, we didn't really have a group. Drew had just been doing his Spunky Smith stuff for a couple years. He had moved out to the West Coast, and he was staying out in GR and was just like, I'm going to keep doing this. I wasn't really writing her much, like in later parts of high school, but after we got out of high school, WTF happened.
Right. And that's a perfect platform to act a wild boy.
Yep. And the first show that I had performed ever was at the old 734 when it was on Washtenaw, which was my old job where they were located down. Yeah, we had played there, and I had written a verse to F is for Friends with Drew.
Yes.
And it was just like, that was the first song in like years I had written, and I was just like, oh man, this is fun. I forgot how much fun this was. And Keyshawn decided to jump on with us. And like, we've known Keyshawn just as long as we've known each other, like middle school, we were kids growing up. And we were like, okay, well, we could finally make something. Let's do something. And we were like, all right, what are we going to call this group? We'll call it Insane Industries. We had been using Insane Industries because we used it as like a skate group when we were like in high school and stuff. So we just kind of adapted the name over into that. And then our first show was at the newly moved over 734 when it was on Michigan Ave.
Right.
And
that was the old, like behind the old carpet factory, right?
yeah. And it was hot as balls.
Because it was just like a garage. It was a garage with a cement floor.
And no windows.
And no windows.
No
it literally had a garage door as ventilation.
And it had rained that day, and it was so humid. Oh, man. But yeah, I'd like
I remember that show, man.
Oh, man. That was the second show I had played in like forever. Like, it was awesome. Like, I had so much fun. It was like playing with all the metal shows. It's like, Ipsy Metal, man. That's how it started.
That's fucking right. What was your favorite show as Insane Industries? Because you did a lot. You guys did.
We did
play a chaos amount of shows.
I want to say my favorite show that we probably played. It was probably either Zeros. Like, as a personal nostalgia moment, just in the house.
You're talking about the last Zeros?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last Zeros. And then I would say as like a bigger show, it was probably the St. Patty's Day show where we had opened up for DJ Assault. And we had shut it down. Like, the entire bar at Crossroads was just going crazy. Like, they were so hyped for us. I was drunk as hell. Still did all my stuff. A1. We were just hyped. We were so hyped that night. And then, yeah, he got mad. And... like, because after we got off stage, the entire crowd kind of just left.
Dissipated.
Just dissipated.
You're talking about the headliner. Yeah, he got upset.
He
DJ
got
Salt
upset.
was pissed off. He was salty.
Yeah, no. He was very upset about that. And that's happened a couple shows that we used to do when we were younger. That's why it was like, as we got older and stuff, we're like, we're going to stay through an entire show. Because just out of respect for all the other artists who would perform. That way, like... even we'll like convince all of our fan base, like, yo, just stick around and check out the
you got to check out the
like, it's gonna be a good show. And yeah, I was like, I felt horrible about it, but that show was rocking. That show was rocking.
Well, dude, ever since I've known you, you had this like crazy sense of showmanship. Like, you are a performer first and foremost. Don't get me wrong, your rapping skills are fantastic, but your showmanship and getting on stage, I mean, I feel like you could get on stage and control the crowd and not spit a single lyric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where did that showmanship and that like almost wild boy presentation come from?
Well, I would say, honestly, it was because of just like when I was younger, no self-confidence, man. You know, you got to grow up in poverty. You ain't got much. You hang around with all these kids that are like doing all this crazy stuff. Kind of just feel like, you know, your opinion just is less than theirs because you can't really do much about that. But eventually I hit that point where it was like I was 18 and I was an adult and I was in full reign of my own life. And I was just like, you know what? I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm going to just be that. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be outspoken, outlandish, and I'm just going to do what I want to do. And I realized a lot of people gravitated toward that. That's when I realized I was being honest with myself. And if I could be honest with myself, I could be honest with anybody else because fuck their opinion. I'm content.
It's 100% true. I mean, if I've ever met somebody that knows who they are and just acts like that. You treat everybody the exact same.
Yeah.
And that's a quality that a lot more people need in their life, that you don't cater to anybody. You're just you.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, I will put myself out there for anybody else that's out there, because I know that feeling of just being like, all right, I have no self-confidence. I ain't got, my opinion doesn't matter. You look down on yourself, and then it's just like, nah, man, you ain't got to do that. Right. And it's just like, I've met a lot of good people in my life because of that, but I've also met a lot of shitty people in my life because of that. So it's just like picking and choosing your battles. Like, overextending yourself too much, that's a bad thing. You got to know when to be like, yo, no, put your distance. Like, I lost like I said, man, I lost a good friend because of that. Like,
right.
It sucks. It was like, it's still this day. Like, he hit me up a couple, like last week. It was just like, yo, man, I'm trying to talk. And it's just like, bro, it's good for you, but you got to get your stuff together first.
Right.
Like, you already know what it is. Like, I'm not going to talk.
And in talking about that, like, that was like the defining moment for Insane Industries to disband, right?
Yeah.
And how long was it for you and Drew to realize that you guys could carry on as a duo?
It wasn't too long, man. Like, it was like, I remember the night that, like, it was the defining night when I decided, where it was just like, me and Drew can keep doing this. I was actually at your house. And we had gone to that house that was off of Holmes, and we were trash. We had drank 2 fifths of R&R that night. And we go back to your house. Your grandma and your aunt are there, and it's me, you, and Key. And me and Key are arguing because he's just like, I just want to DJ. I don't want to rap anymore. And I was like, no, man, like, rap, stop.
What are you doing?
And like, finally, like, he had said something. I can't even remember what he said, but it was something disrespectful. He was like, we're not gonna do anything with Insane Industries because I don't want to do it. And I slapped the shit out of him. And I didn't say anything. I just got up and I left. And I walked from your house all the way to downtown Ipsy.
I distinctly remember all this happening. So did you guys link up and call yourself Approachable Minorities from the get? And when did Marcus get brought into the mix?
Well, after the whole falling out with Key, like, Call Us Black wasn't a thing anymore. So it was just like, well, what Marcus was just like,
Marcus
I'll
ain't
DJ.
doing shit.
Yeah, Marcus was like, I'll DJ for you guys. Hell yeah. If you need a DJ up there, I'll be up there for you guys. I was like, hell yeah. So we didn't really come up with a name. Me and Drew were just going by our aliases, and we were sitting there at the studio doing a photo shoot one night. And my boy Arius walks into the studio, and he had just shaved his beard. Shout out Arius, keep it G. Hell yeah, fucks with y'all. His beard's completely shaved. He had like this tie-dye beard before this. It was like all dyed and shit. And we were all cracking jokes. We're like, man, you looking like a real approachable minority right now. And that was it. It was just like, that's going to be our name.
That's the click. Right,
that's the name right there.
Light bulb.
Drew didn't like the name for the longest. He's still kind of like, for the longest, he was just like, man, I don't know how I feel being light-skinned and being like, we're approachable minorities. This is like this whole, like, we don't have this whole dark-skinned thing. I was like, well, first of all, we got Marcus in the group. He's a dark-skinned dude. Like, fuck out of here. And second of all, I'm black, so fuck off. Like, I can't go into a group of white people and be like, hey guys, I'm white too. They'll be like, oh no. But I can go to like, group of black people. They'll be like, there's something. I like
there's
your
something
fro.
there. Like that fro. Was it different throwing Marcus into the crew
Dude, versus Keyshawn? No,
Yeah.
actually, it meshed really quickly. Like, it was a lot easier because we were like, okay, how could we go about like making the show more extravagant now? Like, how could we bolster what's going on live? Because like you said, showmanship is half of it. So it's like, now that we have a live DJ like mixing our tracks behind us, how could we work that into our stuff? So like Marcus would just throw on random beats that are at the same BPM, and we'd be like, okay, let's just rap our lyrics over this. We know our lyrics.
And drop it low. Say, get that booty on the floor. Shake that ass and drop it low. Say, get that booty on the floor. Shake that ass and drop it low. Baby girl, shake that spandex. Already know I'ma whip my hands next. Can't help but notice that ass fast. Then I know we make that thing clap.
Let's just rap over this. So that's like, we could do EDM remixes. We could do
right
rock remixes.
All your shit is open to you now.
It's just like, as long as it's the BPM, like we know what it is, and if we practice it and rehearse it, then it makes it a lot easier.
So when you guys get together, all right, when does 734 Saturday start? How long does it take you guys to realize you got pretty much your hand on the scene at this point? Because I mean, for a while there, Ipsy Metal wasn't even playing shows. You know what I mean? Like the metal band scene dissipated, and all we had was the folk music that our bands were playing, and your guys' team that was just slaying.
Man, like I said, it really started off with Ipsy Metal, man. Like before that, the venues around here weren't letting us play hip hop. So it was just like, we can't get into any of these venues because they're just like, nah, man, we don't want the club getting shot up. We don't want these issues with all these ignorant people showing up. And I'm like, we don't hang out with ignorant people.
Hey, what are you talking about, dude?
Like, bro,
same guys from your metal shows are coming to these ones.
Exactly. So it was just like, let us throw hip hop shows. So after Crossroads finally popped off, and it was just like, all right, our friends own a bar, we can actually throw shows now. Like, we had been doing house parties for a minute, we just rock out house parties, so like, let's start actually doing this.
Rock out house parties until 4 collapses. I know the legend.
Oh my God, stairs collapsing, floors collapsing, Jesus, man.
You used to tear down the part.
So it was just like, after we finally got that chance, it was just like, all right, well, now these different venues around in the area are seeing that we could be profitable, seeing that, like, you know, these people could throw these hip hop shows and not bring issues. And we're like, okay, well, let's expand out. Like, we got first hit up when Club Above first opened in Ann Arbor. We were the first people that got hit up about that. We did Wild Out Wednesdays every Wednesday for the longest, and then it was every other Wednesday. We did that for about a year. Then they started letting other people in, and stuff got a little wild and got out of control. And after that, it was just like, you know, let's just keep throwing shows, just figuring it out. We started throwing EDM shows, mixing it up. We started doing the melting pots where we'd have all different types of genre that are coming
and your
out to
open
play.
mics. I mean, you guys even dabbled so much, because I was talking to Marcus about this. You guys were throwing shows that didn't even have music in it at this point. You guys are throwing comedy showcases, and pretty much funded through your group, like your connects, your venues that you guys made relationships with.
Exactly.
That's how I got on.
See,
I mean,
as
a host, as a comedy show, and as a comedian, I mean, to have your already known crew reach out to you, put you on at an amazing venue, it was like, dude, I still hold it cherished to this day, because even though Corona's going on right now, and comedy is at a standpoint, we're either on Zoom doing it live, or
these tiny little venues that are private.
Having that option to be at Ziggy's, which is an amazing venue already.
Shout out Dave, by the way.
Shout out those guys. Amazing ass crew, amazing Ipsy venue. I still love it to this day. I can't wait that we can get back in that room and laugh it up and listen to some tunes. I show my appreciation to your guys' group so much, and I love you guys.
I mean, that's why we do the 734s now, because it's just like, we give a lot of artists who have never had that chance to go out and perform at places those chances. We make it all ages, because like, you got these young kids that are out here. They want to learn how to make music. They want a place to perform and bring their friends to. And it's just like, all right, come and enjoy it. Like, you got the open mic. Come check it out. You got 2 songs. And if you do good, man, we put you on the headline. We'll give you tickets, not loan you out tickets. No, we'll give you tickets to sell, and you can make your own money.
And a great venue that actually lets the artist get paid.
Yep.
Like, that's a big thing with performers, is like, if your talent is bringing in the crowd and making the door money, talent should get a piece of that money.
Damn straight.
And that's the first thing that these guys did. It was like, when I'm talking about first time hosting in 10 years, being not doing stand up after bombing for 3 or 4 months. And I was just like, I quit. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I can't take this rejection. And then getting on stage, hosting, having a great time. And then, I mean, dude, gas money means so much right now.
Right, dude. And it just gets better.
It.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, the first one, it went off well. It went off good. Like, a bunch of the comedians didn't show up, but it was just like, yo, this was a learning experience, our first comedy
100%.
show. Second one, slapped.
Everything. I mean, dude, walls were shaking. People were laughing so hard. It was great.
My God, it was
fantastic.
Hilarious.
And then, like, the owners and the venue peeps They all loved it. They
Dude,
were like,
ran
this is
out of-
fantastic.
Like, we ran out of space. Like,
Yeah, right.
It was so packed in there. We ran out
People
of
were
space.
getting on people's shoulders just to see things. And I'm talking about like a pretty much, what do you say, like maybe 50 people max could fit in there.
Man,
And that's really tight. There was like over 100 people going in and out of that
and
place.
this is with chair setup and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not like our normal music where you could pack
just
in more
stand
people.
in back to back,
But
right.
no, we got like chairs and then people standing all the way to the back just being like, hey man, I'm trying to see what's going on because this is hilarious. Man.
So, getting back to like the your talent, I mean, your craft. I mean, I have never seen a person fine tune their craft so much. Because, like I said, I've known you for over 10 years at this point, and seeing when you started to now. I mean, I was telling you off camera, Lewy Seifer sound like a whole different person, bro. Like the maturity, the things you rap about, your flow. I mean, even your rhyming patterns have all changed from when you first started. Was there a defining moment when you were like, oh, snap, I am Lewy Seifer?
The police killing brothers in the streets without any means, bitch. Please saying he attacking, but that ain't clean. How many lives we gon' lose tonight in the fight for the right to lead a crib and survive? I can't leave a house without getting harassed. Hands up against the wall, 5-0 grip in my ass. That's class. You got your gun in your hand so fast, ready to blast like a rash that you wanna scratch. Fingers so itchy, what I do to you? Saying that I move while you were choking me, fool. Screaming I resisted when I said I can't breathe. Dude, now you on dispatch, yelling out cold blue. Back in the day, Dr. King had a dream. Now 50 years later, dealing with the same thing. Fuck the police, come join with the team. And mourn for all the kids all dead on the scene.
For like, this is who I need to be and stick with.
It was after it was after Insane Industries stopped. Like that's when I realized I was like I want to get better at what I want to do. Like I want to continue on doing with what I want to do because like I love hip hop. Like I love boom bap. I love stuff like that. So it's just like lyricism is one of the big key factors in that, and rhyme flow and like how you do it. So it's something that I was just like I need to work into what I'm saying. Even like my name, Lewy Seifer. It's a play on words of being Lucifer, devil reincarnate. So it's just like, I'm spitting all these real facts, and it's just like, I'm spitting stuff that you don't want to hear.
Right.
Because,
It's the gritty. It's the
stuff that you got to hear.
right. The
But then
read between the lines of the story.
Yeah, and it's just like, even now it's just like I can still make good hype party music and fun stuff. But it's just,
100%.
again, it's just different flows and different
Yeah.
rhyming schemes and like what I want to do with my own music. Like I was able to be a part of this huge thing with like helping the community and like this whole project just recently this last year, which was amazing. It's
I mean, your
awesome.
activism is all over the world, all over social media right now. I ain't never met somebody that was so active in the community. I mean, you go to meetings that are government officials and you sit in that. And I mean, dude, the proudness as just your friend. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
I'm telling you, one of the best produced albums that came out of this state is sitting right there on Spotify. Everybody needs to go and listen to this. One track in particular, Live Long, Die Fast.
I've been on the grind, making the bread. Working 2 jobs with the stress overhead. Bills about due with the feeling of dread. Got no food in the fridge cause the rent come instead. I got some choices to make, give me the bank. I ain't got no time to wait. Sick of the feeling of being in water but still ain't got nothing to drink. Let me be frank, I've been going hard. Keeping it real, I don't mess with a fraud. Needing the queen, not a regular broad. Cause the ladies be dirty, I put that on guard. Now I be rocking the shows, look at my trip. About to skirt off in the whip. The heat I be spilling, be killing so hot that I always be burning my lip.
One of my favorite tracks, man. I am telling you, that shit hit me so hard. I loved it. I loved it.
Man, yeah. Shout out Louis, man. Yeah, dude. Louis Picasso. Check out Louis Picasso in the gallery, man. Great group. Yeah, man. Like I said, it was just like we got this offer. Like Drew got hit up about doing this, and I was just like, yeah, immediately. Yeah, let's do this.
Please, let's do this.
Let's do this. So like we got paid to make music. And I was like, that was my first experience actually just to get paid to make an album. And like I got to work with kids and like these young kids. I got to hear these stories, all these crazy ass stories of stuff that these kids have gone through.
Right.
I'm like, man, these are 16-year-old kids. I used to bitch about the stuff that I had to go through in my life. And then I hear about that and I'm just like,
Fucking reality check. God.
yeah, no, my life has not been that bad. And again, like just working with them and showing them that it's just like it blew a lot of their minds when they heard me rap for the first time. They were like, "Oh, wow!" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I rap. Like,
I do that. That's what I
do this. Like, yeah, no." So it was just like that song right there. It was just like I remember sitting there and they were like, "What are we going to talk about?" I was like, just talking about just the daily grind. Right. I was just like, live long, die fast, man. It's just like a lot of people have that mindset where it's just like I got to get up and get everything that I can right now because like,
dude, that song is just.
It don't stop.
It's a wake up in the morning song and play. Like you wake up, I'm brushing my teeth to that shit. Like it's a heater, man. And I love it. And I love you guys linking up with everybody on that album. Like that just shows you like how
I got to work with a lot of great artists, man. King Agundape, I got to work with True Classic. I got to work with so many great local artists like I've been waiting to work with, and it was just like, yeah, now I have this opportunity. We're doing it for something good too. Like we were like previous before COVID had hit, like we were gonna like there's this whole documentary that we have with it along with it, which I can't wait. I haven't even seen that. Can't wait to watch that.
I'm stoked.
Like we were supposed to do this whole live performance of the album debut and stuff in July, but 2020.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Dude, I mean, I've had such a fun time talking to you right now. We usually close out these segments and interviews with the sex, drugs, and rock and roll question, which is either you could talk about how you lost your virginity, you could talk about your worst drug experience, or you could talk about your most rock star moment. I believe Marcus mixed his most rock star moment with his drug experience. Because sometimes those intertwine, and sometimes all three intertwine. So,
man, no, Jesus,
it's a hard one. It's a hard
one. Man, my worst drug experience. It would definitely be like my time on acid, but I don't want to talk about that. Let's see. Most rock star moment. Nah, I'm gonna go with the drug. Okay,
I was gonna say, you can't tickle our earlobes and be like, I got this.
Here's how this goes. Okay, here's how this goes. I had never understood how a bad trip could happen. Never. I was like, I used to take LSD and just, oh man, this is fun. This is great. Have a great trip. Watch some crazy ass shit. Listen to crazy ass music. Chill out and have a good time. One night we go to this show out in Royal Oak. And I go to, like, I'm hot, I'm sweaty. I go to sit down, I'm tripping balls. And I'm just like, I needed some water, so I'm sitting there drinking the water, like, And all of a sudden I look up and all of my friends are around me. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm just like, what do you mean? Am I okay?
I'm fine. What's up?
Yeah, and then like they're like, you're sitting next to a paramedic. And I was like, wait, what?
Huh? Where'd you come from?
Yeah, exactly. And then that just like, that fucked up my entire trip for the rest of the night. So,
I mean, I could imagine, man.
Like now I'm just like, is there something wrong? Like what's going on? So like my hallucinations are getting bad. And like, again, this is like during that time period where I'm having issues with Keyshawn.
Right.
And like on the way back, we're sitting there in Drew's car and the song "I Just Don't Give a Fuck" by Eminem comes on. I'm like ready. I'm thinking I'm walking into Drew's house, he's about to fight Keyshawn. Just tripping.
Oh my God.
And we get back in there. We're just chilling. We're like trying to calm down and stuff. And like my roommate's drunk as shit, just like not leaving us alone. I'm just like, bro, like dog, I'm like bugging right now. I'm already on 10, like stop. And I just started freaking out and getting paranoid. He just like, it seemed like he was a cop. And I was just like, is he a cop? I'm like, Marge, I've known my roommate since I was like, I don't know, like middle school. And I'm just like, bro, like obviously.
You've been undercover since middle school?
Oh man, so these girls end up coming over. They're on mushrooms. I don't know what. Yeah, dude, it is a wild night.
Two waves of tripping clashing together,
yes, man. And it just, dude, it devolved into the point of me just like me freaking out, dude. Just like I watched Hot Tub Time Machine twice because I thought the movie was trying to speak to me and I didn't get the message the first time. Bro, it was a rough night.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, that is a pretty bad drug experience, man.
Oh, my
Dude,
God.
Thank you so much for coming here and talking to me, man. It was a blast. One of my favorite interviews by far so far.
Thank you, BK.
Hey, everybody. Have a great one. Please share, subscribe, tell everybody about Innerbrews.
Make sure
Love
you use
you
your
guys.
Jimmy hats.
That's right. And remember, be nice to one another.
Yes.